So, hello, hi, namaskar. I am Prashil Badwaik. I am a chemical engineering graduate from VNIT Nagpur and currently working with industry as an executive. And right now, I am helping undergrad students of chemical engineering for the subject chemical reaction engineering. I am also uploading these videos on YouTube for those who are unable to attend the live classes and those who want to revise the syllabus again. Okay, so you can go and visit my YouTube channel and there you will find the lectures for the same. Okay, so we'll start with our new topic, that is non-ideal reactors. In that we'll start with our PFR with your pulse injection, right? We started with pulse injection. So before that, I would like to revise the what whatever we studied in yesterday's class. Okay, so can you please guys tell me what are your equations here? What is your CT curve? What is your area under the curve? What is your ET?
C of t is equals to C naught into e power minus t by tau m.
Right, C naught into u power minus t by tau m, and your curve will be like, it will start from C naught
Exponentially decreasing.
exponentially decrease. And what is your area under the curve? Area under C curve,
C naught into tau m.
right? We calculated C naught into tau m by integrating this C curve over time, right? Then what is your ET? E of t is basically,
C of t by area 1 by tau m
yeah,
into e
okay.
power minus t by tau.
So you will be having C divided by your area under the C curve. So you will be having e to the power t by tau m divided by tau m, right? Then your E of theta, just
E
need to
power
replace,
minus theta.
right? That is your e power minus theta. Then your sigma t square, that is your t mean ka whole square. And what is sigma theta square?
1.
1, right? Because it is t mean by t mean. Then you are having f of t and f of theta. What is f of t?
1 minus e power minus t by tau m.
Right, it is your cumulative distribution function, right? And this is your normalized one, that is your 1 minus e power minus theta, right? So I hope you know how to draw the graph of this. Okay, so in today's class we'll start with pulse injection over your ideal PFR, right? Ideal PFR. So in let me tell you at the beginning only, in ideal PFR you won't get maximum equations, right? Here as you got each and every equation, right? You got TT, area under the C curve, E curve, everything you got. But in ideal PFR you may be having some limited parameters that we can calculate, okay? And there are some things which you need to assume, you need to find based on your assumptions only, okay? So we'll start with that. So we will be having ideal PFR. So you write pulse injection over ideal PFR. Okay. Pulse injection over ideal PFR. Okay. Please keep your doubts and tell me in classes. Okay. So that I can also improve my imagination power about that, and I can ask anyone who is asking me sometime. Okay. So it's good to have doubts. Okay. But try to clear it. Okay. So pulse injection over ideal PFR. This is your PFR. You are having injection and this is your detection point. Detection and this is your injection. Okay. So now what is your profile at start of your reactor, that is your injection? Anybody? That is pulse injection. We have seen what is your profile in case of CSTR. What was that?
We immediately add it at one
Right.
point.
So you will be having this kind of curve, right? At time your t is equals to 0, right? and please be careful, this injection point will be nearer to your, it is nearer to your reactor inlet, otherwise you will be having a non-LT there. So this you can assume here, this is your injection point and this is your detection point. Okay, this is your input, right? Will it be same in CSTR and PFR?
Yes, sir.
Right, it is same, but output profile may change. Okay, output profile may change because in CSTR you are having infinite mixing, right? And in case of your PFR, you are not considering any axial mixing. Axial mixing is equals to 0, right? Okay, so can you guys please guess what would be your profile in case of ideal one? What is your output profile? There is no axial mixing, I am saying, in case of your ideal one. Any guesses?
So that it would be same like
Yes,
input.
okay, it is same because you won't have any axial mixing. Whatever molecule is going inside, that is coming as it is, and at same time with other molecules which entered at the same time, right? So you will get same profile, right? You will get same profile. But what is difference in these two? After this profile will be there after
Tower.
your residence time, right? After your, I'll say, space time. So you will get same profile after your space time. I hope you are clear. Space time. So I'll say there is a lag between your inlet and outlet of your tau m. You are getting same profile at the exit after time tau m. So I can say this tau m as your space time of that reactor, space time of that PFR. Are you guys clear with this? Other Rutuja, right? Okay. So this is your profile. So whenever I'm drawing this profile, this is your output one, and this is your first one is your input one. Abhi, if you observe this profile, whatever I draw here, this is called as your imperfect injection. Why it is imperfect? There should be no spreading of this curve, right? In case of perfect, because you are adding at an instant, right? You are adding at an instant, and that's why your profile should be this straight line. We studied ideal one, right? This should be your profile. At time t is equal to 0, that is your inlet, and at outlet you will be having this kind of profile, right? Same profile at t is equal to your tau p I am writing. Please consider it as p because it is your PFR. So this is your ideal one. Now suppose this is your profile and you know area under the E curve is 1. So this kind of function is generally called as your Dirac delta function. This is generally asked in case of PFR, Dirac delta function. So what this Dirac delta function is telling you, you will be having this curve and this is having some area. This is having some area and that area is equals to your 1. Your length, whenever I'm saying length, it is in y-axis. You consider y is your infinite one. Y is your infinite one. Wait a minute. Okay. Am I audible there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so y is equal to your infinite and your x is equals to 0. So this curve or this kind of your situation is called as your direct delta function. This is from mathematics. So this kind of condition applicable in your ideal PFR, where you will be having a peak at time at a particular time, and you will be having zero width of that. So width, I am writing width is equals to 0 and your length is infinite one. This kind of function is called as your direct delta function, and this is generally asked for your PFR. Okay, so direct delta function can be written as it is del of t. It is written as del of t, right? And I told you when I am integrating it from minus infinite to your plus infinite, its value is equals to 1, right? Area under the curve is your 1. So I hope you are clear with perfect and imperfect injection. So what is your C in value then? Looking at this curve, what is your C in concentration at any time at the inlet? In terms of limit, you can write t less than 0, t is equals to 0, and t greater than 0. So here you are having when time t less than 0, what is your value? That is your 0, right? Your value at time t is your C naught. Why I am writing C naught, I'll tell. Because your E curve ki value is your 1 rate, your E curve value is 1, and I'm writing for a particular concentration, so you will be multiplying this value here. Okay, in detail I'll explain later. So this your value, and that is your 0 when time less than 0, right? At time t is equal to 0, you will be having concentration C naught, right? This is your C naught, and after that you will be having value 0, right? So are you guys getting this profile? Okay, then so I can write here it as C in is your C naught into del of t, that is your direct delta function. So this value area under the curve is 1, and you will be having value C naught at inlet. So I'll write C in at any time t. You can derive it as this. You can derive it as this, but I can write here is C naught into your del of t. That is your direct delta function. Then at the exit, what is your value? C out. C out at any time t. We will be having similar condition, right? T less than 0, t greater than 0, and t is equal to at tau p. So this value will be your C naught. This is your 0, and this is your 0, right? So we'll be having similar case at the exit just after time t p. That is your space time. So your C out will be at any time t. That is your C naught into del of t minus tau p. Del of t minus tau p. Okay. So you know what is your equation at the exit. I have written here tau p because you are getting same value after some date time, or I can write your space time tau p. Is it correct? Any doubt here? Should I move? That is your outlet concentration. This is your inlet concentration. Then what was our next step? You know what is your outlet concentration? Here in this case, we didn't do any balance here because we know in case of your PFR, everything is like mathematical term, mathematical one, and you need to imagine that in case of PFR only. In CSTR, we can do the balance because there is perfect mixing and we are getting concentration at different time. And as a balance, we can apply there. Next step is what? Area under C curve, right? Area under C curve. So you need to integrate this equation, that is outlet equation. So area under C curve is integration from 0 to infinite. Why I'm writing it 0 to infinite? Because our curve is starting from 0, right? Even if I'm taking these values, we will be having value at time t is equal to 0 only, and it is coming at the exit. So that is your C naught del of t minus tau p. Okay, area under the C curve. Now I'll tell you some properties of your Dirac delta function. Okay, you write properties of Dirac delta function. Properties of Dirac delta function, that is del of t. Suppose if I'm writing this, you will find in your octal Lensbill. Suppose if I'm writing this is time t is equal to 10 to time t is equal to 1000 seconds, and if I'm writing del of t minus 5 and dt, so what is its value? And if I'm writing time t is equals to 1 to t is equal to 10 del of t minus 5 dt. Okay, so for this I'm drawing this curve. This is your Dirac delta function at time t is equal to 5. Okay, this is less than 5, this is your greater than 5 one. So here you can see this 5 is lies in between your 1 to 10, but it is not in between your 10 to 100. So suppose you are having this interval t is equal to 10 to 1000, and you are finding value of curve in this region, so definitely you will find this one, right? Or suppose you make the interval same in previous example. Here suppose it is from 10 to, or it is 1 to your 1000 seconds. Okay, I'm trying to explain here. This is your interval from 1 to 1000, and second interval is your 10 to 1000. So in both cases, will you find this curve 1 to 1000 and 10 to 1000, right? You will find that. In which case you will not find?
In first case, we cannot find.
Right? So t is equal to 5. This curve is like, first I'll draw this interval. Wait. So this is your curve. This is your t is equal to 5, and your interval is, I'm writing in green. So first one is your 1 to 1000, and second is your 10 to 1000, right? And this is t is equal to 5. So whenever I'm writing an interval 1 to 1000, you will find this curve. You will find this curve. But whenever I'm writing this from 10 to 1000 seconds, this is your 10 to 1000 seconds, will you find this curve? No, right? So if I'm integrating it from 10 to 100 or 10 to 1000, so what is that value? Will I get any curve? Will I get any area?
No.
So its value will be 0 here. Why?
Zero.
Because you will not find any area when you integrate from 10 to 1000. But suppose if I'm asking you, please integrate it from 1 to 100, 1 to 1000. So definitely you are going to find this curve, and your area will be summation of total area between these 2 points. So here there is 0 value, here it is 0 value, but at this point you will be having 1, right? Area under your direct delta function is 1. So you will be having this value as 1. So what is your observation here is, whenever I'm writing any value here, this 5 I have written here. Suppose if I am writing any value and this value is lies between your interval, then you will be having value 1, and if it is not lies, then you will be having value 0 at that point, because you will not find any curve, you will not find any area. So this is your first property of direct delta function. So when I wrote integration from minus infinity to infinity, del of t, what is its value here?
1.
1.
1, because you will be having this del of t minus 0, right? And this 0 is definitely lies between your interval. So you will be having value 1 at that time, right? So this is about your direct delta function, and that's what I drawn earlier when I was explaining you the definition of direct delta function. Then next thing is, suppose if I'm multiplying, third property you can write, this is from same interval, you can say, you write this example, t is equals to 1 to your t is equals to 10 del of t minus 5, and it is multiply with your t square. So in this case, what you are doing according to your property, you will be having this value as 1 and you need to multiply this. So this is your function, and you need to find out value of that function at your given point. What is your given point here? 5, right? So you need to find the value of function at that point, but that point must be in given interval. Are you guys following this?
Sir, can you repeat again this third one?
Okay, so see what I wrote here, area under your direct delta function is 1 when it is from minus infinity to plus infinity, because here I'm writing the value or the point, this 0. See, I'm writing 0 and 5. So these two values I wrote, these two values are basically point at which you need to find out value of that function, point at which you need to find value of function, value of that function. So यहाँ पे when I was explaining first and second case, when I was integrating it from 10 to 1000, you are not finding your point at which you need to find that value, right? So your area is basically 0. This area is basically 0. But when I was integrating it from 1 to 1000, you were finding out this value, right? You are finding out your area in that interval. So that's value was 1, right? Because area under the direct delta function is 1. Now second case is what? Your point at which you need to find out value of function. I have written here, point at which you need to find out value of your function. What is your function here? That is t square, right? And you need to find value of t square at point 5, at point 5. Okay, so what you will do at that time for value of t square at 0.5? So what you will do, you substitute value of value at which, or I'll say at the point at which you need to find out the value, you need to substitute that value, right? In place of t square, what I'll write? 5 square. But condition is what? This 5 should be in that interval, then only you will find this kind of function, right? at t is equal to 5 you are getting, because that is lies in between your interval. So you will be having value of function at that point. Suppose if I am writing an interval from 10 to 1000, previous case you consider, del of t minus 5, what is its value? What is its
Zero.
value?
Zero.
0. Why its value is 0? Because when you move from point 10 to 100, you will not find this 5, right? You will not find this 5. That means you will not find your curve, and if there is no curve, then there is no area, right? That's why your value is 0. Suppose if I am multiplying here by any function, suppose it is t square. So at that time, what is your every value will multiply by t square, but limitation is what? This 5 should be in your range. Suppose I am writing this as your curve, and this your curve is t square, or direct delta function at t square, right? You need to find out this value, and this interval is from 10 to 1000. So whenever you will integrate, you will be having this range, and in this range you will be having no curve, and you will be having no any function, so you will be not having any value there. But suppose if I'm integrating it from 1 to 1000, so when you walk away from this point to this 1000 second, you will be having a curve, right? Direct delta function, and uski value is with this function t square. So you will be having what? This is from 1 to 1000 t square del of t minus 5. So when I want to find out value of this function with this del or your direct delta function, you need to substitute this value here when this point is lies between this your interval, and here you can see 5 is lies between 1 to 1000, and that's why you will be having what value? 5 square. So what is value of that? That is your 25. Here it is basically multiplication of two functions. One is your t square function and one is your del t function. So for properties, I'll write properties of direct delta function. This is from your interval t1 to t2 del of t minus t naught I am writing. So its value is 0 and its value is 1. Please tell me what are your condition. And second one is from t1 to t2 f of t into your del of t minus t naught. This is equals to your f of t naught, and this is equals to your 0. Please tell me the conditions.
So T1 to T2 sigma T minus T naught equal to 0 will be when uh, T naught is either less than both T1 and T2 or greater than both T1 and T2.
Right, that means what I'm writing, it is not in that interval, right? It is not belong to your t1 comma t2 interval. And
Yes, sir.
if your t naught is lies in between suppose your t naught is lies between your t1 and t2, so you will be having curve in that interval, so you will be having that value. Okay, and suppose if I'm multiplying it by any f of t, so you will be having f of t naught when your t is belonging to your t1 and t2, this interval t1 comma t2 you can write, and this t naught is not belonging to your t1 comma t2, then you will be having 0 value. So these are the properties. Just I was extrapolating these values, or I would say I was trying to explain you, but basically these are the properties of your direct delta function. Direct delta function, this may ask in your mathematics for 1 mark, right? So they will be giving you value of direct delta function and another function which is multiplied to it, and you need to find out its value. So suppose if I'm giving an example from 1 to 5, t square del of t minus 4 dt. So what is its value? And second is your
60.
5 to 10 del of t minus 4 into t square dt. So in first case, your 4 is lies between your 1 to 5. So you will be having value, and that is your t square. And what is your that value at which you need to find? That is your 4. So it is 4 square, that is 16. And in this case, this 4 is not lies in between your this interval. So you will be having 0 value. Whenever you will integrate, you will not find core, you will not find your area. Okay. This was the properties of your Dirac delta function. Now, based on this,
Sir,
and okay,
sir, what if T naught is equal to either T1 or T2?
basically that condition was not given, so it is in between, right? It is in between. Why I'm writing here this bracketed open parenthesis, it is not close one. So at t1 and
Yes, yes, sir.
t2, so when you start integrating, you will start from that point, right? You will start from that point. So can you guys please guess what should be that condition? Will it be included or will it not be there?
Will be included.
It's
Right, because you will start from that point, and you are moving to your final value. So whenever if I am writing this t1 and t2, this point must be included, in case of our pfr, we are integrating it from 0 to your infinite. So can you guys please tell me, should I include this 0? You need to find out value at that point also, right? So you will be having 0 in that interval, 0 in that interval. That is, you can say 0 comma infinite, that is your close one. Okay, so next step was we found out what is your c naught in, or I'll say c in at any time t. C in is your c naught into del of t. C out is your c naught into del of t minus your tau p. Then what was next point? Area under c curve, that is your integration 0 to infinite c naught del of t minus tau p. Then next step would be your t mean. So I'll not derive this, but can you please guess what should be that value? What is your mean?
Tau p.
It is your tau p. Exactly. Tau p will be there because we are considering ideal one. Next was our area under the E curve. How can I calculate? C out divided by your area under the C curve. C naught del of t minus tau p divided by integration 0 to infinite C naught del of t minus tau p. What is value of your denominator here? Is tau p, is it in 0 to infinite?
C naught denominator.
Right, so we will be having C naught because tau p is lies between these two values. So C naught del of t minus tau p will be there, and divided by you will be having C naught. And what is this integration? That is 1. So I'll write this. So this will cancel. What is your that value? Del of t minus tau p. So now in E curve, what you will get? You will be having sharp edge, and you will be having this value as 1 at time t is equal to tau p. T is equal to tau p, you will be having this kind of E curve. नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज ई ऑफ टी निकाल लिया हमने. व्हाट इज योर सिग्मा टी स्क्वायर बाय ऑब्जर्वेशन?
Zero.
Zero. Okay. Why it will be zero? Because there is no spreadness. Can you prove this? We'll try. Variance is your integration. First I'll write u2 minus t mean square, right? And u2 is your integration from 0 to infinite t square et dt minus t mean square. Okay. If you substitute this value here, et, then Butuja, t square, what is your et value? Del of t minus tau p t square. Now, Sai can calculate what is the value of your sigma t square.
Tau p square. Tau p
How?
square minus t bar. Tau p square minus t bar square. When both are equal, then we will get 0.
0, right? So it is your t mean square minus your t mean square. So it is equals to 0. By the way, I was about to tell what is your tau p. Tau p is your volume of PFR divided by initial volumetric flow rate, and you will be having this tau p is equals to your t mean. And this t mean, if I substitute here, you will get 0, right? Then your sigma theta square will be equals to sigma t square divided by t means cos square, right? If I am correct, you will be having 0 value. Then your theta mean तो always 1 रहता है, right? Because you will be having curve on either side, right? This is your value, and you are having minus infinity here, you are having plus infinity here. So just I am imagining ki you will be having mean time as this. So if you divide by t mean, you will be having 1 on either side. So this is your t theta mean, that is equals to 1. Then next step would be your cumulative RTT, right? Cumulative RTT. What is that? Any guesses? Pranit?
It's like f of t equal to integral 0 to infinity et dt.
Yes, f of t integration 0 to infinite et
So
dt.
0 to t.
Correct. 0 to t et dt. And if you substitute your et, that is your 0 to t del of t dt. And when you integrate up to that time, so I'm writing here is integration
So,
of
E of
this.
t del t minus tau p nas.
Yes, correct. Del t minus tau p. Exit we are considering. So this is your t minus tau p into dt. So this is by mathematics. This is by mathematics. But what you are actually doing is, in case suppose if I am drawing this is your curve of et and this is your curve of ft. So what is your procedure for finding out value? Area under the curve, 1. So this value will be maximum, that is 1, right? So what are you doing actually? You are integrating your et curve, right? from 0 to particular time t. That is your f of t, right? Cumulative up to time t. So यहाँ पे क्या है? Add होगा. Then again it is increasing. So again it is adding. Again it is increasing. It will add. So increase होगा. It will add. It will reach to maximum value. Right? Maximum value आ गया. Then what is it? It is increasing, but value is increases very less, very less. Again यहाँ पे आ गए हम. So you will be having this kind of curve, right? You are just accumulating it or accumulating it up to that point. So at the exit, you will be having final value, that is your 1. This will be reaching. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा? In this case, in case of your ideal PFR,
So like if t is greater than tau p, then f of t equal to 1.
1, right? So
Yes.
suddenly there will be curve at time t is equal to tau p. There is no value up to this, right? I'm cumulating it, right? Up to this time. So यहाँ पे cumulate किया, I am getting zero value everywhere, right? Value zero everywhere. And उसके बाद क्या हुआ? जैसे ही tau p है, suddenly there will be addition of 1. There will be addition of 1 and this will be like this. So this kind of curve you will get as a f of t. Actually मुझे तो ऐसे लिखना चाहिए था. It should be like your point function. Maybe you are aware this is your whole, and then you will not have any value and suddenly you will get at exit. So this kind of curve, maybe you know, and we are joining it by dotted line. So such kind of curve will be there, but we are considering this for general. Okay, so this was what your f of t. Any doubt here now? So we'll combine all points. You know your C in, you know your C out. Okay, we have already written what is your ET here, what is your FT, what is your sigma t, then what remains? T min. Anything else? We derived this. So you will be having ET. What is that?
So
Del
area
of,
under C curve.
okay, area under the C curve will be there. Area under the C curve is integration from 0 to infinite C naught t minus of tau p into dt. Your ET is what? Divided by area, right? So I'll write here C out divided by area under the C curve. Then f of t, you know, you will be having equation, but practically I'm writing the curve. This is your curve. Then sigma t square is 0, t min is equals to tau p. So you need to think, this is your homework. What is your E of theta? This will be having same value as your E of t curve, but in terms of dimensionless, you need to think this. Okay. Now we will be moving to the next point, that is your step tracer injection. This is a bit, I would say, complicated one, but we'll try. We'll clear this concept in your process dynamics and control, where you'll be having step input given to any system. Okay, but let's start here. Step injection in ideal reactors. Right? What I told you, your C curve will change based on your input, but your non-LD that you are finding using your ET and FT, that will be same. Okay, so based on this, I'm writing here your step tracer injection. Any reactor you are consider? So this is your PFR, point of injection, point of detection is there, I and D. Okay, inlet outlet you know. So whenever I'm giving any step into it, what is my profile? At time t is equal to 0, there will be sudden increment, right? So it is 0 up to your time t. There is sudden increment here, and you will be having this kind of profile. C max, right? There will be some maximum concentration, right? Suppose there was 0 moles per second you are adding initially, there is no inlet, and suddenly you started putting 5 mole per second. So what is your C max? 5, right? C max is your 5 in that case. So what will be your output, approximate output? These at time t is equal to 0, there is nothing, but after a certain time this curve will try to reach your C max value, right? So there will be increment in this value, and this will try to reach your C max one, right? So this kind of curve you will get, that is called as sigmoid curve. Sigmoid, that is S-shaped. This kind of curve you will be having S-shaped curve, and this value will reaching your C max. This is just an imagination, you could say. This is your output, this is your input, right? And can you please guess what is your time required to reach this value C max? That will be your infinite one. It will try to reach that value. So I'll say limit your time is tending to your infinite one. At that time you will reach C is equal to, at any time t is equal to your C max. You can write this. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This was about. So whenever I'm writing this in mathematical form, C inlet you can write it as 0 when time less than 0, and it is equals to C max when time greater than or equal to 0. And this value is constant up to infinite time, I could say. Inlet. Now what is your outlet one? Your C step T. This is your outlet concentration at any time T. Suppose this value is your 1. So you will be having this curve as your E of t or F of t.
F of t.
Right? So C step at any time is equals to your F of t will be there, and this is value is your 1. That's why I'm writing here 1. Suppose if it is that C max, suppose it is your C max. So this will be, I'm just telling you, this will be your F of t into your C max value, right? At any time you are trying to reach your maximum value. You are trying to reach your maximum value. Okay. So this is your curve, and F of t is representing here. So you will be having C step t at any point is equals to your C max into F of t. This is you need to keep in mind. Okay. And one thing we will learn in process dynamics and control, at 1 tau p, at 1 tau p, right? According to ideal one, when it is passing through this reactor or any CSTR, all particles should come at time tau p, right? That is your average time I'll say, or it is your mean time, but it is not coming. So whenever I am putting it in PFR and if it is not ideal one, and I need to find out what are non-ideals there. So at 1 tau p, suppose if it is your tau p, that is, suppose for this reaction you got tau p as 5 minutes. So at 5 minutes, this curve will reach your 63.2% of your maximum value. This is what we will derive in process dynamics and control, but the same concept applies here. Whenever your t, anytime t, this is on x-axis, equals tau p, you will be having 63.2% of your maximum value. So this question generally asked in your process dynamics and control, or it is in CRE if you are relating it with. Okay, maybe I can tell you equation, but that is that may be a bit difficult to understand for you. So we'll cover that in process dynamics and control. You will be having this kind of equation: C is equal to C max 1 minus e to the power t divided by tau p. Now suppose if we put t is equal to tau p here, you will get C is equal to 0.632 of your C max. And what is this 0.632? This is your f of t at that time. Okay, this is apart from your CRE here. We'll relate it once we'll start process dynamics. So for the timing, you please remember C step t. This is your outlet concentration at any time t. This is equals to your f of t into your C max. Okay, have you written this? Okay, so you will be having f of t in case of your step tracer injection. Step tracer injection, this kind, and using this only you will get your f of t and e of t curve, which are similar for any reactor, any single reactor. I am saying c of t may be different, so based on this, please tell me, should I start your tape tracer injection in PFR? Saikiran, Praneeth, Kaushik, right? So we'll start your step tracer injection in PFR, or first we'll take MFR. That will be easier to understand, because in PFR there will be imaginations. Ideal PFR doesn't exist, that's why. You write step tracer experiment in ideal CSTR. Here there is same term which we had out earlier. There is accumulation of tracer. For a timing, please consider it. Inlet, this is your outlet. Point of injection, point of detection, I, D. This is your system. What is your inlet profile? Are you clear with this? Your outlet concentration will be CT at any time, and this is your inlet profile. At time t is equal to 0, you are giving a step input of C naught. Suppose if you balance it, and I told you your profile will be approximately this. It will try to reach your C naught value. This is time, right? Approximated profile. Now, suppose if I am deriving it here, applying tracer balance, so what is that? Input, output plus generation minus consumption is equal to accumulation. Everything is rate. Dot is denoting rate. What is your input? Anyone?
C naught.
C naught into
U naught.
nu naught, right? Because you know moles per second is equals to moles per meter cube into meter cube per second. Same formula we are applying here. Minus, will there be outlet? Output, yes, and that is C of this is your C2
CT
source.
into
CT into nu naught. Same volumetric flow rate to have steady state. Generation 0, consumption 0, accumulation will be same d by dt of C step, or I'll write C of T into your volume of MFR. I hope you are clear with this. Next step would be taking out common and integration. So you will be having C naught minus C. In order to differentiate P of R and MFR, I am just writing CT as C step, right? So you will be having C naught minus C step. You please consider concentration at exit at any time. So C naught minus C step nu naught is equals to V MFR d by dt of C step. Can you guys please integrate it? Limit क्या रहेंगी? At time t is equal to 0. At exit there will be no concentration. So your C step will be 0. And at time t you will be having C step, that is concentration at exit. This adjustment DC step and this dt will move this side. So you will be having volume divided by volumetric flow rate, that is equals to your tau m. So you will get DC step divided by C naught minus C step, integration from limit 0 to C step. Here it is t is equal to 0 to time t, 1 by tau m dt. Can you guys please integrate?
Ln of C naught minus C step by C naught is equals to T by tau m.
Okay, yes, it is correct. C naught divided by C naught minus C step. Or yes, you can write in terms of that
C step
C
equal to
naught.
C naught into 1 minus e power minus t by 2.
Yes, yes. C naught minus C naught into e to power t minus t by tau. So that equation will be, this will be similar to your batch reactor equation, first order reaction. C is equal to C naught e to the power minus t by tau m, except there will be some term extra. C naught minus C step is equal to C naught e to the power minus t by tau m. This kind of equation you will get. You can arrange it in many terms, such as C naught into 1 minus e to the power t by tau m is equal to C step t, right? This kind of equation you can have. But if you want to remember, you will be having simplest one, that is your this one. You know, for first order reaction. Okay. This is your CSTR with step injection. What was your equation for CSTR with pulse injection?
C naught into e power
C
minus
naught e power.
Right. So C at any time t for CSTR with pulse, I am writing C naught e to the power minus t by tau m. And here it is similar, but there will be C step t, right? It is similar. See, you can see यहाँ पे you are subtracting concentration at any time, and then you are getting this profile. Subtracting this C step at any time, and then you are getting concentration profile. So this C step is basically your C step at any time t, or in general case you can write it as C at any time. But in order to differentiate, I wrote this and this. Okay. Now, can you guys please calculate or find out what is your profile? C step t. What is your C curve? Maximum value will be
C naught,
C naught. That is your C max, you can say.
and it will be increasing from down.
Right? It will be exponentially increase. Why? Because e to the power minus t by tau m is exponentially decrease. So 1 minus e to the power t by tau m will be exponentially increase, and it will reach to value 1 here. And if it is C naught multiplied, then it will reach to your value C naught at exit. But it will take infinite time, right? So this is your curve, and that was your equation. Now, what is our next step?
Area under curve.
How can you calculate area under C curve?
Integral 0 to infinity C naught C step of t.
Area under the C curve is equal to integration 0 to infinity C.
C naught into 1 minus e power minus t by tau.
Okay, so this is your equation. C naught 1 minus e power t by tau m. Okay, and it is your dt, right? So this is how we are calculating area under the C curve. Then what is your E of t? That is your C upon, or you can write C step at any time t divided by area under C curve. This is clear. Now you need to find out T mean. T mean. So for T mean, you will be having formula integration 0 to
0
t,
to
0 to infinite,
t into e of t dt.
right? E of t into dt. So what will be that equation then? 0 to infinite t into what is your et, that is C step t, and C step equation is C naught 1 minus e to the power t by tau m divided by, you will be having area under C curve. Is it correct? Sorry, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Here dt, here it is once again dt. So you will be having integration and this integration again. Can you guys find out what is your t mean? Because you will be having infinite area here, right? And this curve will be is not like you will get at particular time. This is your infinite time at which you will reach your maximum value. So we will be having another way by which we can calculate our t mean. Okay, so you can write alternate method, and this is important. Question has been asked in GATE exam. Alternate method, you can star it. Okay, so what is this area by the way जो हमने calculate किया है? This area under C curve on x axis, right? Or projected on y axis. Are you clear with this? What is your area then projected? No, wait. This is x axis, right? You are having shadow on x axis, right? Are you guys clear with it? Area projected along x axis. What is your area projected along y axis then? I am writing area along y axis, that AY. Area along y axis. What you will consider? For x, you took this dx, that is your dt, and you integrated over time t, this curve. अभी मुझे find out करना है what is your area along y axis. So what I will do?
Like C naught, total C naught minus this.
Right, I'll take dc and I'll integrate it over c step, right? 0 to c step, and this is your particular strip. So your area along the y-axis is x into dy. I hope you are clear. X into dy in mathematics, 0 to your y, and that is equals to 0 to c step t, right? 0 to c step t integration. What is your x? That is your curve value, your t, and here it is having dc step area along y-axis. Pranit, Sai Kiran, Rutuja, Kaushik.
Yes.
Right? Then next step, using your C step formula, calculate DC step. And substitute here. What is DC step? I am doing this derivation just to have a clarification how this curve, are obtained. You will be having a field based on your curve. This is your mathematical condition inside. Without mathematics, it is a bit difficult to understand what happens inside reactor.
So DC step will be minus C naught by tau m into e power minus t by tau m.
C naught by tau m. Okay, DC step is equals to your C naught by tau m. Then e to the power minus t by tau m into dt.
So minus C naught.
So is it minus C
No,
naught?
sir. No. Yeah, plus.
Positive only, because you will be having minus here and this is minus. So that is plus. Now please substitute here. So area along y-axis is integration 0 to will it be C step T or infinite?
C max.
C max, that is here you see
C naught.
here you are reaching your C max, right? That is your value. But what is one case? 0 to C naught. Yes, it is correct. I am writing 0 to C naught. Now substitute this minus plus C naught e to the power minus t by tau m divided by tau m and dt. This will be t, suppose, because it was there. Okay. Now area along y-axis is equals to your 0 to C naught, and C naught is at high value, you can say. So it is your C naught divided by tau m and then e to the power minus t by tau m t into dt. This will be your area along y-axis. Now, an hypothetical condition. Suppose if C naught is very high, C naught is very high. Can you guys please write this in terms of your gamma function?
Yes,
for
sir.
C naught very high. So you will be having area along y, that is your C naught upon tau m into integration 0 to infinite. If C naught is very high, then you will be having e to the power minus t divided by tau m and t dt. So we want e power minus x to the power n minus of 1. So your x will be t by tau m. You please take it inside only, then you will be having that value. So what is your dt then? Tau m into dx. So dt divided by tau m will be your dx value. C naught 0 to infinite हो गया, then e to the power minus x, and this is dt divided by tau m is your What remain? How can I
X
convert?
into tau m dt.
X
dx.
into
X into tau
tau
m
m
dx.
dx. So what I'm doing is I am considering it at here. So you will not be having this, right? And this is your x, and you substitute your dt, that is your tau m into dx. So you'll get this curve. This is your area along y-axis. What is next step then? What is this? Tau m will be outside 0 to infinite e power minus x, x to the power 1 dx. So
Gamma
what
2.
is your n? N is 2, so it is your gamma 2 c naught tau m gamma 2. What is gamma 2?
1.
1.
1 plus 1, and it is whole number, that's why you are having 1 factorial, right? So you'll be having c naught into tau m, area along y-axis. Now please find out what is your tau m. From this I'll be having tau m is equals to area along y-axis divided by c naught. I hope you are clear. Please make it star. Question has already asked 3 to 4 times. Tau m. How can you calculate tau m? Pranit? You will
So
calculate
v by v naught.
tau m. Okay, that is your v divided by v naught. But using this equation, if you are given C curve and tracer experiment plus C curve is given. So what you will do? You will calculate your area along y-axis, right? For any curve, can you calculate area along y-axis? You can, right?
Yes, sir.
And then divide by your maximum concentration, that is C naught, and you please make it maximum concentration because we used assumption here, right? C naught is infinite or C naught is very high. Instead of infinite, you consider very high value. You need to substitute that, then only you are getting this. Okay. Now, what is your cumulative RTT then? F of t. Our next step was calculation of ET, but in step injection, you know you are getting F of t, right? First, then from F of t will get E of t. So let's calculate it quickly. F of t is your, what is that value which we derived in step input? C step t divided by
C max.
C max, that is your C step t divided by C naught. Please consider my handwriting. C naught. Now can you substitute value here? C step t.
C naught into minus e power minus t by tau.
Right? Divided by your C naught. So what is your F of t then?
1 minus e power minus t by tau.
What is this equals to? Right? F of t we got this. Right? And then E of t is your d by dt of F of t. What is your E of t then?
E raised to power t minus t by tau m by tau m.
Are you getting similarities in CSTR? ET and FT?
Yes, sir. Pulse also
Right?
we got same.
In case of pulse and in case of your step tracer injection, because non-ideality is same in that reactor, we are considering single reactor, we are doing experiment over that reactor only, so definitely you will be having same non-ideality. So your E of t and F of t is same. E of t and F of t in both step and pulse will be same, but your CT curve may vary. CT curve may vary. You write C of t. For C of t may vary. So this was about your step tracer injection in your CSTR, that is ideal one. Now other values you can calculate, right? That will be same, f of theta and your E of theta. Okay, now we'll quickly solve one question from GATE 2008. 2 marks. This question was asked, you have been given a curve, this curve. This is your CT curve in moles per liter, and this is your time, right? And it is saying you are having step tracer injection, and that is your 1 mole per minute constant value, that is your flow rate. Why there will be flow rate? Because you are having step injection, right? You need to find out what is your T mean and your nu naught in liter per minute. How can you calculate? If I am saying this Cmax is your 1, Sai Kiran, this will be homework for you. In step tracer injection, using this curve or observing this curve, can you please tell what should be this profile? This is C. It is starting from 0 and it is reaching your maximum value. So definitely it is in CSTR. And it is written step tracer injection. So for step tracer injection in CSTR, what is your T mean? Rutuja?
Space time.
Space time. Yes, it is space time. But what is the way
It-
if C curve is given and
Area
tracer
by
injection?
C naught
Okay, so area along y axis divided by your
by
C
C
naught,
naught.
right? Use this concept and calculate your area along y axis and your C naught. C naught is your 1 mole per liter. Your homework. So whenever you are getting such kind of curve and it is written step tracer injection, please be careful while the equation. This is tau mean, or you can say it is mean residence time, and you need to calculate it using area along y-axis. You will find lot of examples in Octave Levensville that have asked to calculate your T mean. Okay, maybe around 20 to 23 questions are given. That will be your homework. I'll forward what and all questions are there. Okay, what is your T mean then?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, right? So it is area of rectangle plus area of triangle 1 by 1. So your area of rectangle is your 1 plus your area of triangle, that is your half base into height, and then you need to find T mean. Okay, so this was about today's class. We'll start with your PFR, ideal PFR with step tracer injection in next class. I'll request all of you who are here to revise this again and again, and please what can I say, try to imagine what is happening inside reactor, and based on your equations, can you are you able to plot your profile, or if profile is given, can you guess what is the condition inside? Okay, we will be having some examples such as PFR followed by MFR or MFR followed by PFR. Then what is condition? Suppose if it is dead zone, then what kind of curve you will get? If it is recirculation, then what kind of curve you will get? We are going to look at that, but first we'll we'll go step by step and then we'll reach to that. Okay, so thank you for connecting. Have a good day.